Hey everyone, it's DPGaming here. Today we're diving into the world of first-person life, a video game that once promised unparalleled realism, but has since morphed into a chaotic playground of fantasy and absurdity. We'll explore how the developers' pursuit of profit led to this dramatic shift and what it means for players who crave a more grounded experience. So buckle on in because it's time for today's episode of... When first-person life first hit the scene, it was heralded as the pinnacle of realism in MMORPGs. The developers touted it as a true-to-life simulation where every interaction, every task, and every detail was crafted to reflect reality. From meticulously designed urban environments to realistic NPC behavior, it was a game that promised to blur the line between virtual and real life. But, as often is the case with such ambitious projects, the promise of realism began to falter. The developers, lured by the allure of additional revenue, made a pivotal decision. They opened up the game to player-created content. This move, while intended to foster creativity and extend the game's lifespan, had unforeseen consequences.
Shoot those trains out of the sky! Oh god, a surprise werewolf attack! I should have expected this. There's only one way to defeat werewolves. Get in there, bear!
Suddenly, the game was flooded with mods and user-generated content that ranged from the whimsical to the absurd. Dungeons appeared in grocery stores, fireballs flew through office buildings. What was once a simulation of real life became a bizarre blend of fantasy and sci-fi, all under the guise of anything is possible. The shift raised several critical issues. First, the original promise of realism was sacrificed on the altar of financial gain. The immersive experience that once drew players in was replaced by a patchwork of inconsistent, fantastical elements. For players who enjoyed the game's initial commitment to realism, the transformation was both disappointing and disorientating. Moreover, the influx of player-created content introduced a chaotic and often unbalanced gameplay experience. The game's world became a mishmash of conflicting themes and mechanics, where a serious quest could be interrupted by a surprise dragon attack. The developers' failure to regulate this influx led to a fragmented and disjointed experience that undermines the original game's integrity. By the way, you might be curious about the name DPGaming. It's a throwback to one of first-person life's most infamous glitches. Back in the early days, players discovered a bizarre exploit involving two pens. When a player equipped a pen in each hand and then initiated a specific in-game action, like interacting with an NPC or accessing a shop, the game's coding would interpret the dual pen setup as a unique input. This error caused the game to duplicate the player's currency repeatedly, leading to a flurry of players exploiting this glitch before it was eventually patched. So DP stands for double pen, a nostalgic nod to those quirky, game-breaking moments. So what can we take away from this evolution? First-person life started as a beacon of realism, but evolved into a game where imagination reigns supreme. It's a reminder of how player creativity can reshape a game's identity in ways the developers might have never anticipated. Here's a thought for the developers. Why not create separate RP servers dedicated to maintaining the game's original realistic vision, free from the fantastical elements that have overtaken the main game? This would allow players to choose their preferred experience and preserve the integrity of the original concept. Finally, let's address a particularly frustrating chapter in this saga. Recently, lmao took it upon himself to have one of my videos removed from YouTube and re-uploaded to his own channel. Why, you ask? Well, it all came down to a petty dispute over my use of his custom skin in the game. lmao claims that using this skin was somehow infringing on his territory, despite the fact that it didn't breach any YouTube policies whatsoever. This move wasn't just a blatant attempt to undermine my content, but also a way to direct attention to his own channel and to rub salt in the wound of our ongoing rivalry. It's clear that this move was less about upholding any real rules and more about asserting dominance in a way that's both unjust and unprofessional. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to this exploration of first-person life. If you agree that the game would benefit from some focused RP servers, or have your own thoughts on its evolution, let's hear them in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into the evolving world of first-person life.